Unfortunately, I didn't become Superman. I didn't become a workaholic. My productivity didn't double because of the cold plunge. I'm on day 30 right now, and here is my thoughts on this entire experience. Better sleep. I will tend to work out more. I do feel slimmer. So right now I'm on my journey of 100 days cold tub challenge, cold plunge, whatever you want to call it. And if you haven't been living under a rock, you've heard of Andrew Huberman and Wim Hof and doing all these crazy cold tub stuff. Wim Hof has freaking hiked the Mount Everest in shorts, in a pair of shorts. I'm like, it's freaking crazy. Like, how do you do that? And then Andrew Huberman's like, cold exposure, cold water immersions is amazingly great for you. That's what got me interested in this like 100-day cold tub challenge. Benefits from cold exposure, the potential that our bodies have to endure such extreme temperatures just by exposing yourself to the cold. There's a ton of research behind it. Increasing your brown fat, that's like the good fat. It increases your dopamine levels. Yeah, there's health benefits, but like that's like really not why I'm there. I'm there just because I want to do something uncomfortable every day. That's just me. The first time I ever went into a cold tub, it was probably about 50 degrees. Right now I do the cold plunge at 39 degrees for 6 minutes, and that definitely is a lot harder. First 2 minutes is a huge shock, and then after that it's a bruise. It gets really hard when the water is actually flowing, so it breaks your thermal layer, and like if I'm moving around, it'll make it like 10 times harder. That's definitely something I'm gonna start implementing, is like moving around a lot more. So pretty much there's no numbing. It's just hell for 6 minutes. On day like 22 to day 25 of Cancun, surprising my friend, I was like, well, I can't do the cold plunge because like I had this challenge, a 100-day challenge, and I didn't have the perfect environment. And it's not about the intensity of what you're doing, it's about just showing up and giving your 100. Me showing up and giving my 100 was calling the hotel, asking for tubs of ice, or like asking for big bags of ice to do the thing. That's what really matters, is showing up and being consistent. So when you do the cold plunge, your body pretty much starts warming itself up. As long as you don't do like a warm shower right after the cold plunge, and you just let your body like shiver, your body is gonna try to warm itself up as much as possible, which increases your metabolic rate. So your body burns more calories by warming itself up because it just got super fucking cold. The benefit threshold is like 11 minutes per week to get the max amount of benefits. 11 minutes a week, whether you do it all in one session or you do spread it out into multiple sessions. 11 minutes total per week is where you get the most amount of benefits from cold plunging. The temperature I've been doing, it's varying between 55 degrees was probably the warmest, and 40 or 39 degrees was the coldest. Huge difference between 39 and 50. The more I do it, the faster I become numb. Now, like 50 degrees, I'd pretty much become numb instantly. I've built kind of a tolerance for colder water. If you move around in the water, it actually breaks your thermal layer, because when you do get in cold water, your body creates this like invisible layer of warmness, so you can actually stay in the water and become numb. That's like the numbness feeling. I do 20 deep, slow breaths. The idea is you want to breathe through your stomach, and then you want to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, to take in more oxygen than you are putting out. So you do 20 of those, and then you let it all out on the last breath, and you hold it for as long as you can. Once you're like dying to take a breath, take breath in, and then you hold it at the top for 15 seconds. Really the whole concept of the breathing exercise is to let your mind, instead of focusing on the cold, to focus on your breath. If you do 2 rounds of that, your body will become numb. I do that before and in, so I do 2 rounds of those total. So before I get in, and then when I am in, I do the 20 rounds. A lot of people, what happens is like they'll get in the cold tub and then they'll just get in complete shock, just lose their minds. Like they don't focus on their breathing, and they're just like, oh, they're super tense. Like the whole thing is to just relax, focus on your breathing. It's gonna shock you. It still does to me. Like it doesn't get easier going in, but it does get easier. Like when I'm in, I can cruise a lot easier, but there's a shock every single time I go. I still have to stare at the cold tub for like 5 minutes every time I go in, because I'm like, it's gonna suck for like the first minute, but then after that I become numb, and it's like, it's whatever, it's really easy. The one thing I do realize is it was like a domino effect on my habits. So if I were to do the cold tub, I would want to go to the gym after. So like it's like a good habit that leads to another good habit. So it's like a domino effect, because there's studies that have been done, like it's better to do the cold plunge before a workout than after, because if the goal is hypertrophy, to build muscle, if you do the cold plunge after a workout, it actually like stunt muscle growth. Now knowing that, I do the cold plunge before my workout, and I actually work out a lot more now because I do a cold plunge, which is interesting, because before, when I didn't do the cold plunge, it would feel more of a obstacle to actually go work out. But now, since it's kind of put right next to each other, if I already did this hard thing today, I might as well also work out to like kind of complete that habit. That's like really the main thing, the main benefit I've been getting from doing the cold tub. Now, as far as like, discipline and stuff like that, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'll make you a more disciplined person. Doing a cold plunge for 6 minutes a day hasn't really translated to more discipline or more consistency in the workspace. I think people say that because, it requires a lot of discipline to get in the cold plunge, and maybe that discipline would translate into other areas of life. But the problem with that is like you don't become confident by doing more cold plunges or like doing your bed more. Confidence is specific per the domain. It's not like general. It's like people say that they're a confident person, but like confident in what specifically. Discipline just comes from actually doing really hard work for a long time, and like doing a cold plunge for 3 minutes a day won't really translate well into other areas of life. If it does, it does, but for me, I've really felt no difference. I've always just been working hard, so maybe like the years of that just rewarded me. I don't do the cold plunge in the morning. I do it in the evening, because like if I have like a heavy leg day and I have to sit down and do like focused creative work, it's very hard for me to do that. It's just for me, like I like working out after I worked. I just don't like working out and then working. I find it really hard if I really pushed hard at the gym. I used all my mental energy in the gym, and then I try to use my mental energy again to like do some deep solo work. I feel like you only have so much mental energy in a day. I find it's better to work first. I do my workouts after. I feel like my workouts would be like my stress reliever almost after my work day, instead of doing that workout first and then working. I do work first and then I do workouts. If I want to release some stress, I know like, okay, at the end of the day, I can go work out and like just push it out, and then I can sleep well. I've been around a lot of biohackers, and I've always been like, okay, I want to become the most efficient person ever. How can I get my max efficiency by doing the less amount of input? Because there's like the people who just like wake up and work, and then there's people like, where's that middle ground? You have the Alex Hormozy people that are like, you should wake up and then work. If you wake up and work, I don't know if that's the healthiest thing. And then you have the extreme biohackers that are like, you should wake up and then you should ground, you should do affirmations, you should do gratitude journal, and then you should do all these things before you work. How do I get the most amount of health benefits, but also not put a stupid amount of time towards that stuff? I don't like the idea of doing 5 hours, but I do like the idea of like getting all the health benefits, because I think that also matters. I like to go look at the sun. I have a grounding mat. There's actual health benefits to grounding. I'll put my grounding mat instead of like my bathroom mat, so like I can do 2 things at once. It doesn't affect my bathroom experience. So like I might as well have a grounding mat there. So I'm grounding while I'm doing my bathroom stuff. From there on, I'll just get the benefits from it. I don't have to put much thought into it. My circadian rhythm, which is really, really important, understanding your circadian rhythm and your internal clock. I'll make sure I get sunlight in the morning. I'll have 15 minutes, even 5 minutes, like you'll get benefits from 5 minutes. And again, I want to apply the concept of like, how can I do 2 things at once, but also not like decrease my efficiency in those 2 things. So I'll be on my phone and I'll just look at my Google Calendar, and then I'll also be in the sun. So I'm getting my sun, and I'm also like evaluating my days. Or I'll also have my coffee 90 minutes after I wake up, 60 to 90 minutes. It's like perfect. The idea for me is like, how can I get the most amount of health benefits without putting hours of my time? That's like my philosophy, is like, how can I front load all the work and then just reap benefits from it? I guess it's turned into like what my day looks like. The health benefits are cool, and like they're almost indistinguishable, but I do the cold plunge every single day because I wanted to challenge myself, one, just so I have that like metal in me. Like David Goggins talks about the cookie jar, and I want to fill my cookie jar with as many like hard things I've done. For example, when I do like long runs, like half marathon races and stuff like that, I'll be like, okay, well, I've done this hardship before. I've done the 100-day cold tub challenge. I've done all this. I've done this. I've done this. It's like, why can't I get through this? I did all these hard things so I can get through whatever hard thing that is in front of me. This is a medal for myself. It's like, I did this hard thing. Showing up and being consistent was the most important thing. The idea was to do the thing, be uncomfortable, and do it for 100 days straight. If you want to have that medal sense of like, okay, I can do this other hard thing, then definitely do it. I think it's a great thing because it is very uncomfortable. It is very hard to do it every single day. It's a shock every single time I go. So I think it's really important for people if you want to just challenge yourself. This is just my experience right now on day 30 of doing the cold plunge every single day for 30 days straight. If you are a biohacker or a workaholic, I would really love your perspective on this stuff. This is just my perspective and my experience. Comment down below. For 2024, I'm gonna go really bullish on my personal brand. It would mean the world to me if you shared my content or subscribed. Maybe it'll help someone else out there that is on their journey of entrepreneurship. I'd love to help that friend or you.